back. So we're starting our second event of the evening. Fortunately, a little bit later than I anticipated, but given the fact that we don't have too many players in the final tournament, we are going to be okay with the time. We have 6 players compete. Oh, I was talking to myself, sorry. So I was saying that although the first event took a little bit longer than I expected, we don't have too many players in the second event, which means that we still have plenty of time to finish this at a reasonable time. And although we have only 6 players, the tournament today is going to be elite because all 6 players involved in the tournament are very high level, and anybody can win the tournament. I'm actually going to be surprised to see who's going to go out because we're going to have a round robin based on points. So everybody's going to fight everybody. Each player will get at least 5 fights, and all of them are going to be very close. The top 3 are going to qualify to the elimination stage. In the elimination stage, we're going to have a semi-final between number 2 and number 3, which is going to be the classic best of 2, first to 14 system that I've been using for some time. And then the final against the top player in the round robin, who also has 2 lives. So the winner of the qualifiers is probably rewarded with a very good chance of winning the tournament. Think of it as the number 1 is the winner of the tournament, and number 2 and number 3 are the losers, but they still get a second chance. Kind of like a lower bracket final and a grand final in a double elimination. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. And the first matches that we're going to have in round 1, we're going to have 5 rounds in total in the qualifiers. So remember, it's based on points, so every flag matters. Even if you're losing the fight, just give your best. And the first fight is going to be Pico, who has done great in the gauntlet thingy. And there are actually going to be some ranking points awarded as well. Not too many though, but players who have done well in the gauntlet will be rewarded. And he was going to be facing Subu, who's also joining me in the commentary.
Nice.
We'll see if Pico stays with Karkstein. He did great with him in the gauntlet event. After that is going to be me versus Oak, and then Luck versus Chernobyl.
Okay, I'm joining. Yeah, very exciting actually. Even though it's 6 players, the fact we're doing round robin and it's such high quality overall, anything can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a very difficult, as I said, it's going to be a very difficult tournament because each match is difficult. You know what? In some other tournaments where you have more players, obviously it's always better to have more players. It's, you know, more exciting. But with more players, you know, there can be some surprises, some underdogs winning against some better players, and then, you know, not having the consistency to continue in the tournament. And sometimes you get a little bit of a more favorable path. So a higher number of players does not always necessarily mean that the tournament is more difficult.
Mm.
So what we have right here is actually a very good example of a low number of players, but a very difficult tournament to win, especially considering the format. There's Pico.
Yeah, and we were talking actually just recently about how low numbers can be more difficult. I think this is again an example of that concept as well.
Yeah.
Ward was initially confused by that, but when you break it down that way, it makes a lot of sense.
Pico takes the left side, Subu takes the right side.
Okay, good luck, Pekola.
It's gonna be a very interesting match, considering that Pico was able to defeat Subu in the gauntlet. Now they're fighting for real, because this one is obviously a more important competition than a custom, and I'm pretty sure both Subu and Pico are going to play a little bit more differently. Nice chop there from Subu. Gets the first kill. And again a chop, they both hit each other. Oh, beautiful sidestep from the long guard for Subu. And we have the second flag. I remember yesterday, nice chop again, 3. Plebeian had a pretty rough start against Subu, losing 0-7 the first match. And then a conversation arose on how important it is to try to score 1 flag, 2 flags, 3 flags, regardless of how the fight goes, because one bad loss can take you down. 3-2, but it's equally valid for a tournament based on wins, because whenever you're losing decisively, the person that defeated you will have to lose twice after for you to have a chance. So again, that same chop works great for Subu, and I like that Subu's doing that. So whenever something works, he's just gonna use it until you adapt. And sometimes that what's the word? That strategy change does not help. Oh, again the chop, but this time Pico is able to score. Six to 4. Oh, caught him there. I forgot to tell you that there's also a prize for this one. Forgot to mention 30 for number 1 and 20 for number 2. Congratulations for Subu. 7 to 4 that was, I believe.
Yep, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 to 4.
Yeah, it was almost 7 to 5 though. Pekola got a nice hit in there though, but I was lucky to have enough stamina to bring that back.
Yeah, obviously victory is something that people want the most, but you know, if you score 4 flags or 5 flags in a fight, you're still pretty much in it with this number. So I think Pico is still doing good. Next fight is going to be me versus Oak, and Oak is looking scary recently. Matter of fact, in the past 3 days, he has lost only 1 fight. 6-7 against Piper yesterday, but he has won 4 fights in Tao's Tourney, another 6 in yours. He also won another 2 or 3 today, so he's on a very good run right now. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to stop that. It's gonna be really difficult.
Yeah.
He's in great form.
Oak is just, yeah, and he's a master at punishing even the smallest of mistakes. And he might not even realize there was a mistake until he suddenly hit you. It just comes in so fast.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Sure. classic matchup. Isabella versus Laszlo. Oak had a very nice duel with Warden earlier. Warden using Isabella. Here we go. Oh. That block stun is really interesting. Yeah, I think that needs a little bit of a tweak. Nice.
Alright, I'm back. Not looking good for Venator, but he does have a flag on the board at least. Almost tagged the lag there, it looked like. That's something about the high guard that is easy to forget, is it's not just aimed at your head, it's also aimed at your leg. So you might not get hit in the head or the arm, but the cut can still come down and hit your leg if you're moving too much into it. That was a beautiful snap cut. Just blinding speed there. And it's important to distinguish those leg cuts, though, like I was mentioning, from linger damage. They're not quite the same thing. Nice. X cut there. We've been seeing that work better than I think a lot of us have been expecting. Venator included. Yeah, he's definitely locked in now. Well, as I say that, he took a hit, but no, he's doing very well now. Nice comeback so far from Venator. Some feints there. Oak doesn't want to overextend because Venator's very good at punching that. That was a beautiful attempt from Oak, and eventually he gets the flag there. That false edge cut to the hand there. The high guard cut though from Venator. Yeah, this is definitely a disputed fight now. I think this is what the people want from a fight between elite fighters like these two. A double. Good feinting. That snap cut could have tagged Oak, but Oak is such a precise player that it's tough to tag him with those preemptives. He knows he has to close in, but he only does so when you're not presenting a clear threat for the most part. He's happy to play aggressive as needed, but he doesn't overextend. He doesn't, for the most part, make mistakes like that. And if you make a mistake like that, you will pay for it instantly like that. The back Y. That back Y, and it can come out of nowhere. You think he's done 2 cuts, 3 cuts, and then he does the back Y at the right time. But there's high guard cut. And that's another threat of that move, actually, is that some Saber characters have to watch their hand. And Laszlo's probably chief among them. His hand's kind of begging to be hit there. Not that his stance is bad, it's just, if you're in measure, perhaps it's not the best default stance against high guard. He can move to block, or try and block, but it is
Nice.
iffy. Venator takes it. Nice high guard cut.
Nice. Honestly, I was happy with the 5 flags or the 6 flags, considering how this fight went, because he was very good in the beginning. But to be honest, I had to resort to a very, uh, I don't know how to call it, very tight gameplay, because he's very fast with the punishes, and everything creative that you try
Hmm.
against him, he's just gonna punish right off the bat. So that's kind of
Yeah.
your only chance, just to play as tight as possible. Just look for openings. Everything else just gets punished. He's so good nowadays. Luck versus Cherno. And I said about Oak, I think last time when we had an event, um, the difference between this Oak and the Oak from, I don't know, a year ago or something like that, is that with the new moves, he has found like a very good follow up and a very good strat for each move. Because if you look at his playstyle, nothing is random. Like everything that he throws, he
Hmm.
follows up with kind of the same thing afterwards, something that is usually safe or fast. And even when it looks like he's taking risks, actually he's just setting a trap that he knows very well. He has a couple of combination of moves that he's using interdependently, which catch you almost every time if you're not paying attention. So that's
Hmm.
pretty much an elite gameplay there. Luck, Luck with a very good Isabella in the gauntlet, going to fight Chernobyl, and I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. Chernobyl has been pretty much a dark horse in the last tournaments that I hosted, and he was very difficult to defeat. If you remember, he was always kind of in the final, semi-final, or even winning.
Hmm. Yeah, very good yawn that he's got. But his Marta not bad either. I
Yeah,
suspect against Luck he'll be playing yawn though.
yeah. I think Marta can definitely be a very good pick against Isabella, but I'm not sure if it's the best pick against Lux Isabella, because Luck has literally no respect for rapiers. Like he's just gonna go in and throw at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yawn versus yawn. Yeah, that's right. Luck was talking about
Jan Mir.
using yawn more. Interesting.
I think
We don't
that's
see
a good
yawn
thing.
mirror very often.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing for him. And we've seen it earlier, even though he lost the first fight, it definitely looked like a more natural uh, pick to him. I mean, his Isabella is great as well, but I feel that Isabella kind of imposes a little bit more of I don't know, a patient play style. You can't just go in guns
Hmm.
blazing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Whereas yawn is more balanced. You can do whatever you want, I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah, you can go in. You can throw the court. You can throw like the low thrust.
Yeah. And Cherno did both of those actually to win both of those flags. That was well done. Perfect spacing. His style is very different from Luck. Luck does like to mix it up with more of a variety of attacks, but Chernobyl, like he's trying to stick to the strict yawn meta, I would say.
Yeah,
Like just the two best moves, he's trying to find the perfect opportunity to use those. He'll occasionally throw like a snap cut or a back Y, but he's really trying to use the maximum range that he has. Well, there's the cork lands, but Cherno's tired. Oh, tired swing. That's actually a dangerous one. That can kill you in one hit. Dashing thrust, the dash back and thrust there. That move didn't quite work out.
and Luck is exactly in this position right now that I was talking about a little bit earlier. And there you go. He gets the first flag. The fight is not going your way. You still have a chance, obviously, but at this point, your focus should be at just trying to get as many flags as possible. And if you go with this mindset, it might actually get you closer to the win.
We've definitely seen it before. Nice exchange between these two. The meta moves. I like that they're throwing in some cuts, though. There's the wraparound attempt by Luck, which almost landed. That push cut there does not seem quite as effective as Luck was hoping.
Yeah, because focusing on the immediate objective can actually make you a little bit more composed and patient. And oh, nice one.
Nice.
And can even get you some good results if you're thinking like that. Because if the opponent is like 4-0, 5-0, think, oh, I'm not gonna win this. But if you're thinking, oh, I need to score some flags, then it can actually take you step by step even closer to the win. It's the same thing I say when we're doing the best of 2 thing. If you remember the format, so in the 2 sets, the primary thing that you need to do is win the set and then focus on the flag. So sometimes, people who, let's say, lose the first set to 7-4, 7-3, if they focus on the win on the next set instead of focusing on the number of recovering the flags, they usually perform better and they manage to recover the difference. So it's a little bit of a psychological aspect to it. 4-3. 50% of the game is just mental, anyway. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I was just saying Luck was throwing some snap cuts in there. That was the down back Y, which is different from how Barra does his snap cut, which is down forward Y. A little unintuitive, and it's not a move that I've been a fan of that Jan has there. That's like one of the moves I just don't throw very much, but it seems to be pretty good at beating the blade quickly. And Luck actually interrupted some of those stabs with it a few times.
Yeah.
So, really nice use of the move.
One thing that Luck does, and it happened in here as well, and I would love to see him maybe correct this in the future. Sometimes when the flag gets a little bit more complicated, he tends to overthrow, and he kind of gets in this constant loop of where he's just kind of throwing attacks, and obviously that leads him to getting tired, especially if he got hit in the process, just what happened the other flag. So in those situations, you actually have to do the exact opposite, just like throw as less as possible and just be patient and wait for an opportunity. Like he did against me earlier when he was just waiting for me to come in and just did the tap. And I was kind of expecting him to do so. I just gambled there. Nice cork. 6-5.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody's game still. That was a nice flow they did before, too, where they were just throwing the corkscrews and the cuts back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
They're both definitely really sharp in this fight. But I do agree that Cherno seems to just be a little bit more composed, a little bit more in control of the fight.
There you go.
There it is.
7-5. It was pretty much Cherno's game, and he definitely looked a little bit more composed. But Luck did a great job of scoring 5 flags, which might not prove, like the difference between them might not prove as decisive. Luck was supposed to fight again now, but we have a little bit of a house rule, which is if somebody loses, they're not going to fight again immediately. Just give them a chance to regroup. So we're going to do... Actually, Cherno's going to fight next. He's still in the... So that doesn't apply for winners, I'm afraid. So winners actually... And it's usually a good thing because winners have this win morale, and they can ride it for the next match. And we're going to have Chernobyl versus Pico. And this is a very good opportunity for Chernobyl to get a little bit of a distance between himself and Pico, because at the end of the day, this is it's a tight competition between just a small group of players. So Pico is already on -3 if you want, like he has only 4 flags, and Chernobyl has 7. So if Chernobyl wins here, he's gonna get a higher difference over Pico. Some great fights so far, very close, all of them as expected. 7-4, 7-6, 7-5. As I said, I really can't think about who's going to. Actually, we have 3 bosses and 3 challengers here in this one. But to be fair, I think it would have been a very difficult thing to achieve for any player, even for the players who were bosses today. First, you have this flag disadvantage. Second, you have to defeat not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 good players in a row, and that's something that you can't do every day. But that was actually the appeal of the whole thing. You know, it had to be something. It shouldn't have been, you know, fair. It should have been, you know, spectacular. If because that's kind of the same thing like when you're fighting in Elder Ring, like that. They're not going to give you a boss that is like equal to you. They're going to give you a little. I mean, FromSoft has always been like that, like David versus Goliath type of thing. Anyway, back to the fight. Cherno with 2 flags here.
Yeah, very good usage of Marta's spacing, but that was actually a nice flag from Pekla as well. Yeah, they both switched characters, possibly anticipating. In Chernobyl's case, maybe he anticipated a calc. It's hard to say. But I think Marta can actually still win this matchup used properly. Connor really has to work hard to close the distance. He does have the shield, but I think Marta has some good side steps, some good head stabs, so he's got to be a bit careful.
Oh, nice blade beat. Oh, but he got caught there. Marta is so good at catching you when you think you got her.
Yeah.
Then she stabs you right to the face.
Oh. Yeah.
As I was saying it.
And Connor doesn't really keep his shield up when he dashes in, so you think you've got passive protection, but you actually don't oftentimes when you're dashing versus walking forward. But if you don't dash, then, I mean, Connor doesn't move particularly fast when he's walking, so it can be tough to close the gap. Inquartada, beautiful.
Yeah. Pico is very impatient, actually, and I think he needs to treat this with more patient approach.
Oh, that's it.
7-2-1, and this is a very solid win here for Chernobyl. And with this win, he actually has a very good chance of moving through. Pico a little bit behind, but we still have fights to go. 5 fights in total for each player, so a lot of chances to come back. Now we're going back to Luck. He's fighting Oak now. Both of them have lost their first fight, but barely. So this is going to be pretty important. Anyway, with points, anything can happen. Like even in the last fight, you can get a very decisive win and leave somebody behind, or somebody else can lose against another player and stay behind. Very curious to see if Luck is going to go again with Jan here. A lot of people thinking that Jan is a counter to Laszlo, but they fought today, I think, and Luck did well. I'm not sure if they fought. No, I think they didn't. I mean, they fought Jan versus Laszlo, but they didn't fight Isabella versus Laszlo. We'll see what Luck decides here. We might see a Bara from him. Who knows? He has some options.
Gotta be sure of it against Oak, though. It's definitely not as simple as picking the right character.
Yeah,
Isabella, okay.
he's
That's
going
actually a
with
good
it.
pick.
Yeah, I mean he did great today with her. In our fight, I felt that he was a lot sharper um, than I remember him with some of his stuff, and creative as well. Oh,
Oh, there it is.
such a
That's
good
so
move.
deceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
feel like when you fight Oak, that's one of the combinations that you were talking about that you just have to have at the back of your mind at all times.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, because he already has this repertoire of strikes that he kind of circles them around. There you go.
Hmm.
And that's kind of the key to success, because you just can't go in a fight, thinking, okay, let's see, whatever goes, goes. You just have
Yeah.
to have something prepared for each matchup. Like you think, okay, I'm gonna fight this character, I'm gonna throw this, 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 and this. 3-1 right now.
Yeah, Luck made a little bit of a mistake earlier. That was a nice mix-up. Luck was not ready for that one. But he landed the high guard cut earlier, and then he seemed to try it again when Oak's guard was up, and then dashed in and just couldn't react when Oak
Oak
threw his attack.
is
And
so good at landing hits and combinations off the block because Laszlo is very fast. Oh, and again, oh, but he gets lucky,
ooh,
a little bit lucky this time. Lucky and manages to land the counter. Uh, what I wanted to say is that recently, one of the things that makes Oak so good is that he throws an attack on the block and then goes for
hmm
the second one. He tried it here, but he was a little bit too slow and predictable. So throws one to your block and then immediately switches to something else, and they're usually very fast strikes. Laszlo is just very fast overall. Double.
double. Yeah, Luck's trying to challenge Oak's attacks now, and it's at least forcing doubles, so it's better than what he was doing before. So we'll see if he can get some flags off that.
Oh,
Punished instantly.
yeah, and that's one of Laszlo's capabilities as well, is to catch you in your wind up. So if you're throwing something with a slow wind up, you're good as dead.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just
And
have to.
I think Luck was just switching guards there. I don't even know if he was throwing a cut, so. But it didn't matter. The hand was coming off anyway.
Oh, you got him there.
There it is.
That's one of the things that works against Laszlo sometimes. Like the high guard goes below the guard and hits him in the body or in the leg.
Yeah.
Isabella main, I like that.
Yeah, and if you can take out Laszlo's mobility at the very least, that's very good against Oak because, I mean, Oak's still good, a good player regardless, but it prevents him from doing that in and out game that he loves so much. So it gives
Yeah.
you a chance to catch him.
It looks
But
like
now
this
it's
fight
even.
went to the last round. The Luck tightened up his game, and it's a fight that looks very similar to mine against Oak, because it also started pretty bad for me with some with good flags from Oak, and then I switched to high guard heavy gameplay, but this time Oak manages to get the extra point, and this point might prove decisive later on. Who knows? Because it was a very good fight. But props to Luck, though. He's still very close. 2 fights where he was behind in the beginning, but managed to mount a little bit of a comeback. Yeah, the high guard seems to be a very valid strategy against Laszlo, because he can either hit
Hmm.
his arm when he's trying to swing, or he can hit him in the body if he's at a certain distance. Great. Next fight is between us. You're
Okay.
going to take the left side. I am going to take the right
Okay.
side. Also a very important fight because we have both won our first fights. So whoever gets a little bit of an advantage here, so will win. Can prove quite important.
Definitely.
Here we go.
Okay. That could have been anybody's.
Yeah. Oh. When you throw the high guard, the blade travels back up for a little bit. So sometimes it hits you if you're moving too fast.
Right. Like I was saying, the legs are always there too if the head's not hit or the arm's not hit.
Oh, nice. Nice one. Oh, nice. I didn't think you're that close.
Yeah, it can be deceptive.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. GG.
GG.
GG. That was a fun fight. Very fast paced.
Yeah.
A lot of good exchanges.
Yeah, and I got 5 flags, so I can't really be unhappy with that. Just gotta make sure I do well in the next fights coming up.
Yeah, one of the things that I do with the high guard, because I know you mentioned it last time, is that um, sometimes I just kind of feint it and just bait it in it, but sometimes I just throw it right off the bat, and that's also
Mhm.
equally surprising, because you don't expect me to do that. So that's why you
Right.
threw there. But it's fine. We all have some great baits, and I also fall into them quite often. Right. Let's have a quick look at the rankings because we had two rounds. Or not. Oh yeah, Chernobyl is wait, didn't Chernobyl fight? Oh, it was 7-1 for Chernobyl, not Pico. Sorry,
Oh,
I put the wrong thing.
yeah, I was a little confused as to how Peklo was fourth. I was looking as well.
Yeah.
That looks more accurate there. Actually, very close, though, I have to say.
Yeah. So Chernobyl is first with 14 points, but 8 points difference. I am second with also 14. Oak third with 13. Subu with 12. Luck with 11. And Pico last with 5. Reminder that the first 3 go to the next round. So even though Pico is a little bit behind here, he can still recover the difference. Everybody else is pretty much still in the competition. I mean, the difference between number 1 and number 5 is just 3 flags. So yeah, we're gonna have some really tight matchups from now on. Okay, let's go to round 3. And speaking of Chernobyl, he is facing Oak now. And I think this is going to be a very tough matchup for Oak. Obviously a very tough matchup for Chernobyl as well. But Chernobyl uses 2 characters that can prove quite difficult for Laszlo. And actually the way that Chernobyl plays these characters is also a little bit anti-Laszlo. But we'll see how that fight goes. Chernobyl with some good morale after the first win. Yeah. I trained specifically to counter Oak from the moment I got this game. Yeah, that's a good mindset. Yeah, Oak seems to be the player in fashion. He's the cover of the Vogue Hellish Quart magazine.
Yeah, definitely.
He's exciting to watch. Exciting to fight against as well. You know, but every time we see somebody, you know, performing very well, that also excites me as well because it's always interesting to have some people that are in a very good form
Mm-hmm.
and see how you can match against them. Cherna going Jan here, and I think it's a good choice. Marta
Yeah.
could have worked as well, but a lot riskier than
Yeah.
Jan.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Jan can also mix it up with Laszlo. You know, being played, he can be played more like a saber if you need to. So you've got options, whereas Marta is all about just standing back and stabbing in very simple terms.
Yeah.
So it's good to have the option to do both.
Yeah. And Jan is not slow either. Like his cuts are also pretty fast, and he has a couple of moves that are also very fast and can
Yeah.
maybe not as fast as Laszlo, but very close.
Yeah. And he's got reach to sort of compensate for that, even if he is a bit slower. He can still reach Laszlo first.
Goes with the cork. You can see that Oak is already expecting this type of gameplay. He's just and goes very well there with the nice flag. The experience is shown there. Like he's expecting the low thrust or the cork, so he's just moving back and forth, flicking his long guard. Double now.
Yeah. And that was a good try with that lunge. It kind of gathers the blade and then comes down on the head. If Cherno didn't back Y, that would have been
Oh,
Oak's nice lunge.
damn. Yeah, Oak has a complete arsenal here. I think if you give like, oh, nice Quart to the face. If you give him one more thrust or something like that, I think he would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
But the way that the character is now built, like he's not like plug and play, you know? He's not just something that you can, oh, I'm just gonna go and just throw this and that. Like you still require a lot of experience and timing
Hmm.
and knowledge to make him work. But if you have all those, which Oak has, he can be very difficult to defeat, considering all the tools that he has right now
Yeah.
and the attributes.
Tactical game, and that's another double actually. That back Y is fast. But I like that Oak is using those lunges. He's also trying to fight from range a little bit. Obviously, at the end of the day, he wants to close in, but he has those threats that if Cherno misreads the distance even a little bit, he can get tagged instantly.
Cherno has been doing something really well in this match, although not too many flags were played. He was able to stop Laszlo's lunge. I mean not lunge, the long guard chop, long
Yeah.
guard X. He managed
Yeah.
to stop it a couple of times. Oh, nice Quart there, hits twice. Oh, they're both hit.
Yeah. Ooh, but he's tired, but we know Jan can fight like a caged animal. Okay, well, there Oak takes it, but we have seen Jan fight like a caged animal before when he's tired, so.
I've seen recently, and also noticed in our fight as well. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if Kubal changed anything. Before, when somebody was hurt, like his guard was a little bit weaker. That's obviously understandable.
Mhm.
But I feel that recently the guard is even weaker when you're hurt. And remember, when I hit you, I also went with
Mhm.
a thrust after, and it kind of went straight through.
Yeah.
So I think when you're hurt, I'm not sure if Kubal changed anything, but
Yeah.
it just feels that way.
Yeah. It could also be the stun. I don't know, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. And I think Cherno did a back Y last second there, and managed to get the double in the nick of time. But it's tough to say. The Quart can hit twice. Oh, that
Nice.
delayed cut is throwing Cherno off.
Yeah, Oak is
And I think
now
Oak
showing
is
his
doing it on
experience.
purpose.
He's showing
Yeah.
his experience, and I think that's the only thing that Cherno lacks right now. Like he has
Mhm.
the fight IQ, he has the right reasoning whenever he's fighting, picking the right characters. Oh, beautiful! See what I was talking to you about, what I was telling you about.
Mhm.
When you get hit, the guard gets weaker, and
Yeah.
you're susceptible to being hit. 7-2.
Yeah.
And this kind of spoils Cherno's plans a little bit because he was top of the group. And now he's a little bit behind. Here we go. Next fight, Luck versus Subu. Because in order to defeat somebody like Cherno, who's has a very tight gameplay, he knows exactly what you want. You gotta get creative, and you have to use your experience, and that's exactly what
Yeah.
Oak did there. He stopped playing conventionally, and started mixing up more interesting strategies, and they worked. Here we go. Who's finding Luck? Luck with 2 losses so far, but with a good number of points scored. 5 in the first, 6 in the second. And with a good with the win here, because you are right now a very direct rival to him,
Mm-hmm.
considering the number of flags. If he wins here, um, he might get a very good placing before the last 2 rounds. Here we go. Isabella versus
Okay, good luck, Luck.
Barabash. Subu knows this matchup really well. Luck knows this matchup really well. Range advantage for Isabella, speed advantage for Barabash. Damage, I would say, roughly equal. Oh, so it's kind of like a... Oh, if we're talking nice side step, if we're talking boxing or MMA, it's kind of the equivalent of a tall, rangy fighter versus a shorter, stockier fighter, which is usually faster. But obviously, the taller fighter has the range advantage. Oh, nice cut there from Luck. He got a double. Luck has been able to hit Subu consistently in these flags, but he wasn't able to capitalize. And he gets hit again. 3. Oh. They're both hit. They're both hurt. Yeah, so Luck is doing exactly what I was talking about earlier, which is whenever he gets hurt, he starts overthrowing attacks, and Subu took advantage of that, scored the 4th flag. Actually, this is the 3rd fight where Luck is in this situation. He's led at a big difference, but every time he was able to close the distance. So we'll see if he manages to do that as well here. Nice high guard to 10. Another got double. Subu goes low. And that's exactly what you need to do when you have a solid lead. You start mixing up and confuse your opponent even more. Oh, nice thrust there from Luck. Double. High guard strat here for Luck. Oh, gets caught there again. The side step has a pretty big wind up, so faster characters will catch you. Learned this the hard way as well. Oh, his second attack hit, but Subu's strike was more powerful. 6-2-1. Nice tap there from Luck. Perfect timing. It looked great. Oh, the thrust into the snap cut thing that he created. It looks very nice. Oh, and the side step this time, the power is on Luck's side. And he scores the 3rd flag. Oh, and again the 4th flag, and Luck looks, it seems that he's doing the same thing as in the first fight that he had. Oh, but Subu ends it right here, 7-4, and that's a very good win for Subu. Yeah,
good game.
And Luck will have to perform really well in the last two fights in order to catch a spot in the next round. He is behind, but not far behind. Now we're gonna do Pico versus me. Pico was able to defeat me in a very close fight in the gauntlet, so I need to take revenge here. Let's send the link to Pico. I need to get some water really quickly and go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I think I'll do the same thing. Pico said he was leaving, apparently. Let me double check. Yes, he said I'm leave. Got something calling. It's probably something due to work as well. Related to work. So I guess it'll be Venator against Luck coming up instead. And then I'll be fighting Chernobyl in round 4. And Oak will get that free win, I suppose. Alright, I'll be right back as well. Okay. Looks like Venator's still away. That's no problem.
I'm back.
So apparently Pekla said he was leaving. So I guess you're going to be fighting Luck instead of Pekla right now.
1 second.
Yeah. Somewhere further up in the Discord.
I'm just talking to him right now. Okay. All right. So Pico is leaving. So what I'm gonna do here, and I know that sucks a little bit for people who actually defeated Pico. But given the fact, given the fact that anyway fights are judged on points. Um, yeah, I think the fair thing to do is just to eliminate Pico from the competition. So basically, everybody has an equal record against him. Let me think this through. So you fought him and won 7-4,
Mm-hmm.
and Chernobyl fought him and won 7-1. So in this regard, for example, Chernobyl would have an argument against you if you got to like the same number of points, and obviously he would have like a better. I'll have to think about if eliminating him completely or introducing a certain score. I'll think about it. For now, let's just move
Okay.
on to the next fight.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, it won't make too much difference when it comes to, because Pico has already lost 2 fights. Everybody else would get a win against him, so that wouldn't that like the first criteria wouldn't be to influence. But if it gets to the second criteria, which is the points difference, then it's where it gets tricky. Oak says in Pico lost
Yeah.
both. They don't affect anyone's score. They kind of do in points difference. That's the thing, in points difference. So the second criteria, but we'll figure it out. Let's do the next fight. Because for example, if I put right now 7-0 against him, I have an advantage in points difference over you and Chernobyl. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because for example, if we get to the same number of points at the end, I will have an advantage because I had the 7-0 compared to your 7-4 to 7-1. That's the
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. If you guys had the same score, like 7-2 or 7-3, then it would have been easier because we could have put the same score to everyone. Anyway, we'll figure it out. It shouldn't be. But we'll notice if that becomes relevant as a tiebreak. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at. Um, we're gonna see at the end. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna fight all the fights at the end, and then we're gonna see which is the best course of action for Pico's games.
Okay.
Good. Me versus Luck now. I'm happy with just eliminating the score. Yeah, I mean that's very nice and fair play. But at the same time, you worked for that win, and we didn't. And Pico is not somebody that you could say, "Oh, I would have won against this guy 7-0." Nobody in this world can say that. Um, And I want to be fair to everybody, regardless. I appreciate the fair play. Um, let's get luck in. We had a very good fight in the gauntlet.
Yeah,
There
and I
is,
guess a good thing about that too is I will be fighting Chernobyl as well. So like, if one of us gets a decisive win, it's not gonna matter.
yeah, most likely it's not gonna matter. But
Yeah.
actually, the one thing that we can do, if somebody is available, we can have like a replacement. Um, but I'm not sure who would want to go in there. So if somebody's watching and wants to take Pico's place, we can do that. If not, we're gonna figure it out. It won't be. Let's bring Warden back. Yeah. Okay, there's luck. We had a very good fight, so I'm kind of excited for this one. If our fight from the gauntlet would have been a regular fight, he would have won because I believe he got to 7 first. But also when the requirements of the match change, also strategies change a little bit. So
Yeah.
because for example, if
Yeah, luck. Yeah,
we
go
know
ahead.
that we have 5 flags to fight, you're definitely going to fight differently than fighting 7 or more.
Right, yeah. 100%. I was just gonna say luck needs to stay locked in here. That's the only thing. If he does, it absolutely will be a disputed fight. And if he does, I honestly can't really say who will win. I mean, it's totally possible that luck takes it. Good blade beat. Just can't quite follow it up because Venator's being good with the distance management. Nice angle from Venator, but luck stays solid. And yet, this is exactly what luck needs to have the best winning chances. Venator is the type of guy who can do very well even in the long game, so you cannot make reckless mistakes.
Did you see that again? So every time somebody gets tired or hurt, their guard seems to be a lot weaker. Like I just hit him through the guard there when he was tired.
Sidestep.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just noticing something.
Yeah, well, nice trade of stabs there. Yeah, no, I see exactly what you mean. I think it kind of makes sense, especially for a stab versus a cut, but yeah, something interesting to test for sure. And it's nice that we have earlier builds of the game. We could even test those and see how different it is, if at all.
Yeah, it kind of emphasizes that when you're hurt, you're very vulnerable. I don't particularly mind.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that seemed blatantly unfair or anything, so that's good. But I'd still be curious to see how it's changed, if it has changed. Stab from luck, the follow-up doesn't land. It's kind of a kind of a low range one. If it works, but that's a big if. Now Luck's a little bit behind. Venator playing very solid. Luck with some feints. That interesting stab there. I think he was trying something there.
Yeah,
Venator called him out. Yeah. Yeah, you can't feint too much against Venator. Certainly not without having some kind of threat behind it.
Yeah, so this is what happened in every luck fight. Like he was at disadvantage and then managed to recover.
Yeah, good hit to the arm. That would have landed, I think, if he was close enough, just like you were talking about earlier. That stab, it was just too far. You can see if you control both characters and just bash one's guard, they'll start getting hit through as if their stamina depletes. Yeah, it's probably a good way to test it. Okay,
Yeah,
Venator
I mean,
with a really
I knew that
convincing lead.
that's a thing, but it looks more effective this time compared to what I
That was
was
nice
used
from
to.
Venator. Luck was going for, I think what he thought was a safe snap cut, but Venator immediately snap cut him right back. That was really well done. The stab from Luck.
But also,
Yeah, I think the stab is actually
yeah,
good against the
Isabella's
snap cut.
stab goes right over the handle there, so sometimes it hits the arm, and that's actually quite
Yeah,
realistic because long
yeah.
swords are actually very exposed to. Nice.
Yeah, he did exactly this against me. He started getting flags, and I was like, I better not choke this. Yeah, Luck's been doing great with that. It's just... Hopefully he doesn't get provoked into making a mistake. That looked like a mistake, but it didn't land. But yeah, 100%. Longsword hilts are actually pretty exposed. The crossguard is useful for some defenses and some angles, but at the end of the day, your hands are right there. So...
Yeah, and in the only HEMA competition that I participated, and it was a
Yeah.
longsword tournament. That was the thing. I remember even winning
Yeah.
the fight, and I got like 4 or 5 points just thrusting to the arm.
Yeah.
It was just such a. Well, we were amateurs as well, so obviously the
Mhm.
defense
Yeah.
was GG.
Nice.
Great fight.
Yeah.
And I noticed against Zera sometimes it works the same way. Like you can thrust, and if it's like right at the tip of your sword, you can hit his arm sometimes.
Yeah. And when you're playing Isabella against Zera, if you can aim cuts at Zera's hand, then it's a really good way to hit him, especially if Zera's trying to do stuff, because his hands are there and he has to wind something up first. He can't just do a snap cut for the most part, save for the back Y or something like that. But that's a very limiting move. So
Yeah. Subu versus Chernobyl next. Again, Chernobyl started really well. Then he didn't have a great fight against Oak, but with a win here, and especially a win at a good difference, can put him back on track for the qualification. Great tournament so far. Some really nice fights.
yeah, it happens, Luck. At least you've been making adjustments and stuff. That I think is still commendable. Like you had consistent struggles in every fight, but you found an answer to them at the end of the day. It's just if you had more flags, maybe it could have turned out differently. But
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if this makes you feel better, Luck, but my personal opinion, um, you are one of the fighters that I fear the most when I fight. For one reason, Luck is that type of guy that has that youth reaction time. So he's very young.
mhm.
So those guys from shooters or some other games where they're just always like one step ahead of you because they have some very solid reactions. They just can figure things out very quickly.
Mhm.
Um, that's Luck. He's
Yeah.
like if you're playing his game, you're never gonna win. He's always gonna beat you. He's always going to be faster than you. He's always going to
Yeah.
be more accurate than you. He just has that young energy. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's something that kind of it's a real thing when you're in your early 20s or something. Obviously, your energy and your reaction time and everything is just a lot better than somebody that is older. Here we go.
Yeah, and I think we saw that play out when he beat me back in the gauntlet. That's certainly what it felt like, that he was just beating me to the punch in so many of those
Yeah,
flags.
yeah, and he has done that to me as well many times. Even though I have the ping advantage. So imagine that his reaction time is actually faster than the ping advantage that I have.
Hmm.
So it's very scary. Here
Okay,
we
good
go.
luck, Cherno.
Yeah, we've seen this fight in the gauntlet. Subu was able to take it, but yeah. What is this game? Recently, we had a lot of new people joining the stream, so it looks like I'm getting popular. Just the game randomly recommended. Hopefully, we can get some more players, more eyes on the game. Oh, a couple of good shots from both. Chernobyl seems to have been a little bit more affected though. He went into the tired thing. Oh, that looked a little bit weird, but Chernobyl got it. I really hope, if only my host was still good. Yeah, your host was good. I played a couple of times on your host, and it was really good. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of delay, but it was very sharp. I think the most important thing about a host is so that you don't get lag spikes. That's something that can ruin the experience. 3 flags here from Chernobyl. Oh, nice one. The 4th with the cork. Because I remember fighting Skelman, who's from Japan, and I had 300 ping, but the connection was really smooth, like no lag spikes, nothing, and I was actually able to do really well. Because you can adapt to that, but when you have lag spikes, that's when it gets bad. 5 now. Oh, and the cork barely reaches Subu, but still kills. Oh, nice shot. Again, I think Chernobyl did something. It's the same thing that happened in the gauntlet thing. Subu needs to tighten up here, because this, if he loses 7-1 here, this might affect his position. Oh, and he's getting tired. He's throwing a lot of attacks, and he gets punished. 7-2-1 for Chernobyl. A very solid win. The cork.
Oh gosh, yeah, I did bad there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the cork is still. It's probably. I think the cork is probably the best move in the game right now. I'm not sure if there's anything that is better than that. It can't be defended, but you have to expect it. Like if you're trying to play normally, you're gonna get caught by it, and that's an intimidation factor in itself. When you know that you can't play in a certain way because you're always worried about a certain move. But still, landing the cork still takes skill, still takes timing. So even if it's a very good move, the skill of the player is still primary here. Right, so Chernobyl just won, so we're gonna keep him here. And he's fighting me. And right now, actually this is a match for the first place for me, because if I win this one, I have a guaranteed first place, and that first place comes with some really nice perks, which is qualification to the final with 2 lives. But Cherno is still in the competition, so if he defeats me here, he might have a good chance of snatching that first place. Gotta be careful.
Tired there.
Oh,
Whoa, yeah, that's what I was trying on Chernobyl
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Gotta be careful, man,
That is scary,
with
yeah.
that thing.
That can one-shot you, by the way, those swings. So, yeah, it was good that you were careful. Cancels there, yeah. Those stabs just come out of nowhere. Sometimes I don't even know how you block them. Venator at least has some range to work with, so it's
Yeah.
not so simple.
Honestly, that was my philosophy since I started playing Hellish Quart. I never really trusted my guard. Just trusted the range management.
Posted the Vena there, but got sniped. Yeah, that's what Cherno's trying to do, just going for those snipes. Good hit, though. Yeah, that reach is really helping Venator stay safe. And it's not even just that the sword is bigger, it's having a straight blade, too. So the point is always coming forward.
Yeah.
Nice, A-cut. Good. Wow, okay. That was really stylish. And that almost went wrong, but very good from Venator.
Yeah, that low thrust does not have very good tracking, so you can sidestep it. Ah.
Oh!
Nice.
Caught you while you were trying to speak there. That was good though, Cherno.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that. Cherno was like, shut up.
Shut up. Let me fight.
Snap cut. Posta de Vena. The Venator's playing a really solid game right now. If he was too close, that might have been punishable, but I don't think Cherno had the opportunity. Oh yeah, he's doing the trick shot cancel. I like it. Yes, you can do that with Jan as well. It's a bit more difficult to do though because you can accidentally corkscrew. But yeah, he's definitely got it as well. Cork there gets push from Venator. Amazing that he's landing these pushes too. That is beautiful timing. Yeah, that was a well-timed grab, as others are saying. Posta de Vena bashing the guard, not breaking through. Or it does break through, but I think Cherno was too far. Oh, the trick shot again, but I don't think the tracking's good on that move. That's one of the flaws of it. That even back wide doesn't necessarily compensate for it. Venator gets sniped there. He was trying to get fancy.
Recovery is too much.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see the plan that you had there. It's just... Cherno was ready. Corkscrew. He didn't give up, but Venator stays solid even after being hit. And there's the high guard cut.
7-2, and this win helps me, but also helps you guys because Chernobyl was doing great, and we'll see what happens in the. Actually, we have only one more fight in the qualifiers. Let's have a quick look at the standings. It's going to be a little bit difficult to figure out some certain things, but we're gonna get an idea. So I am first place with 28 points and will be first place because Pico has Pico has left, so I am directly qualified to the final. The next spots are disputed between Chernobyl, Oak, and Subu. Luck is going to get 7 points, so he gets 26 points, which means that he's going to be over Cherno. So that's very interesting. He's going to be over Cherno here. Even though he lost a lot of fights, but this is where the point system comes in, right? Because Luck scored a lot of flags in every fight. And then we're gonna have the fight between you two, Oak and Subu, but Oak still has the fight against Pico that he's gonna get. But with the win here, so Subu, if you win this, you're gonna qualify to the next round. So that's what you need to do. You need to win. 26. Yeah. No, no, no. Actually, with 6 flags, you can also qualify. I hope I'm not wrong, but with 6 flags, there is a chance you're gonna qualify as well.
Yeah. I'm still shooting for the win regardless, of course, but
yeah, absolutely. But just trying to give you an idea here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oak left, Subu on the right. This may very well be the semi-final after this. As I said, the first spot is taken by me, so the second and third spots are being disputed between a couple of players. Even Luck has a chance of getting third spot, actually, depending on how this fight goes. Luck will need a very good win from Oak. That would be actually quite interesting. Oak left, Sue right. Because Luck is gonna get 26 points, and both Oak is definitely gonna have more than that because he already has 27. Because he's gonna have a win by default against Pico, so Oak has secured actually the second place. Oh, goes low. It's between Subu and Luck right now. Oh, again the thrust. I'm not sure what's going on. I've seen a lot of moves going through the guard today. Was there any secret update or something? I'm not sure. 4. Oh, nice thrust there from Subu. Guess his first flag. Overwhelming pressure here from Oak. Subu needs to tighten up. But depending on how this fight goes, I actually have a little bit of an idea to make it a little bit more fair. The muscle weakness update, yeah, it could be. Because actually muscle strength affects guards. If you have good muscle strength, guards are stronger. I don't necessarily mind it. I think every now and then if one moves just to go past the guard is not necessarily a bad thing. Just makes the game a little bit more open. Oh. Nice cork there from Subu. Yeah, I actually have a. Depending on how this fight goes, I have an interesting idea. Um, goes low, nice. 6-4. Oh, nice. 6-5. Nice quirk. Oh, nice. 6-6, and looks like Subu has managed to complete the comeback here, and the sixth flag actually gives him a very good opportunity to qualify here. Corkin defeats Oak. Unexpected comeback there, but well played from Subu. 6-2. 7-6. And actually, Oak gets to 26.
I have no words.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
Yeah, that was great. That took everything out of me, it felt like.
Yeah. Right. So,
Yeah, thanks, Oak.
yeah. So at this point, so since you managed to win this fight, then my background idea is no longer valid because now everything is pretty clear. So we're gonna give a win to me, Luck, and Oak. Here we go. So the final ranking is the following. I am first place. Oak is second. Exactly what I said. There, you guys are going to fight in the semifinal. Subu is third place. Luck is fourth with 26. Chernobyl is fifth with 25, and Pico obviously last after the fact that he had to go. So the top three competitors will continue in the competition. Luck and Chernobyl, thank you very much for competing. It was great. It was great having you. And now we're gonna get Oak versus Subu. This one is going to be a best of two, first to 14. You guys already know the format, and the winner is going to face me in the final, but will have to defeat me twice with the same format. So we still have a lot of fighting to do. And we're gonna take a 2 minutes break, and after that, just to let you guys regroup a little bit because you've just fought, and then we're moving on to the semi-final. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. 2 minutes. Alright, we're back. Subu, you here?
Yep. Ready to go.
Awesome. Yeah. So it looks like the bosses managed to to qualify to the next round. I remember that we talked yesterday about this, qualification system to the elimination stage. This is actually a very good example, especially when somebody has to go or somebody can't play anymore in a round robin. The fact that you have another round after it can compensate for the fact that somebody got a bye win. Because for example, I won every fight, so I got the first place. But what if Pico defeated me in the fight, and maybe you or maybe Oak would have got more points, and so it doesn't feel as earned to win an entire tournament when somebody like when you get like a free win. So this second stage kind of helps with that. Like there's still some position switches. Somebody plays in the semifinal, somebody's in the final, but you get this thing where you're gonna fight until the end, even though you got a little bit behind. Anyway, we're gonna see Oak versus Subu again, already a classic. This time in 2 sets, maybe even a tiebreak, depending on how this goes. And it's going to be very interesting to see what are going to be Subu's picks. I have a little bit of a guess, but I'm not going to say anything until they pick. Yep, he is going with Jan. The character that got him the first win. So a quick reminder on how this system works. So we're going to do 2 fights of 7 flags. If one player wins both, then obviously that player will continue in the competition. If wins are shared, then we're going to count the number of flags, and we're going to have a tie break. Oh, nice forward thrust here. And we're going to have a tie break with the remaining flags of each player. 1-1. So yeah, I think Cherno might be right with that muscle strength update. I think some attacks are a little bit more effective now against the guard. 2-1 now. Anyway, it is advised that you need to keep perfect distance in order to block perfectly. And I'm not necessarily against that, because that's what happens in real life as well. 2-2. You can't just block everything. Great start. A lot more balanced than the fight they had in the group stage in the qualification. And oh, nice one. It went through the weak guard and continue. And I also think that with the muscle thing, makes guards makes going through the weak guard a good option. Oh, Subu's intention was quite clear there. Oh, caught him there with the nice cuts at the head. Oak went down and he got hit. I like that Subu has this, and I think it's a very good advantage. He has this versatility mindset, which is he usually plays one character, but every now and then he switches to another character that he thinks might be a better matchup. Not necessarily a second main, but mostly just a character that makes sense for the matchup, and he does very well. 4-3. Again, the nice long guard attack there. 5-3. Oak again an advantage. Barely lost the fight there in the qualification. Oh, gets caught again by the retreat. nice composure there by Subu. 6-2-5. Cork attempt. A little bit out of range. Goes low again. Man, Oak is so dangerous with that low attack, and he goes again, but it's a double. Goes low. Oh, again catches him on the way in. And I think that's a very good strat from Subu. He's not allowing Oak to get in, because Oak does not have too much range per se with his sword, but he has range with his attacks. But he is vulnerable when he does that, and he goes to the body. Oh, nice long guard. Again goes low. Two-piece combo. Oak cancels it. Oak is still in contention of winning a ranked competitive tournament on the 3 hosts that host Hellish Quart. Me, Subu, and Tao. The Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm not sure if he has a title shot for tomorrow in USFC. Regardless of how this one goes, the second set is going to be very disputed as well. Very close in flags. Nice, 6-6. Subu's playing this very cynically, but in a good way. Like, he has a couple of tools and he's just gonna use them, and he's not gonna allow you to do your game. Oh, double. Subu might pull it again, the same thing that he pulled in the group stage, which being behind almost the entire fight and then just snatching it at the end. Maybe he deserves it after yesterday when he was in the opposite position. He had the advantage and lost at the end against Oak and Piper. Oh, thrust there from Oak. Oh, tried again the long guard attack, and again Subu caught him. Regardless of how this flag goes, still going to be very disputed in the second set, but getting the win is very important. It's a little bit of a hybrid between winning. Oh, and again another thrust there, and the two-piece combo, and Subu wins it after being hit twice. And I don't know if he's crying there. Jan. He just went to his knees there and started crying. Again, Subu steals it from Oak. Last round. I mean, last set. We might have a tiebreak. Who knows? We're gonna swap sides. Subu's not saying anything. I think he's very focused. 7-6 win for Subu. He needs to win this one as well. Yeah, sticks with Jan. Can't blame him. But still, Oak tried a lot of great... Oh, and again, goes in with the forward cut. Oak has so many tools in his arsenal. And he was trying that long guard attack, but Subu was just countering with that retreat attack. He wasn't killing him, but he was stopping from going in. And again, you see how Oak is mixing up his follow-up. So he goes with the long guard, then goes back wide, then goes with the long guard and does something else with the forward Y. Oh, got caught there. A little bit out of range, that move. I'm not sure where it is. Might be... Oh, goes low now. Might be AY, I think. 2-1. Honestly, Laszlo seems like a character that I would love to play if he had a longer sword. Oh, nice one. Goes to the body. The same attack that landed last time. Who knows? Maybe that could be a good option. The wind up is a little bit slow, but it delivered really well. It's not a commonly used move for Yana players. Oh, and again goes low. Oak again in advantage. This is for the third time when he is leading the dance here. But the first 2 times he lost the fight. We'll see if he loses this one. Oh, hurt again. Very well played here from Oak. And he finally gets the flag. 4-2. Oh, they both hit each other. Oh, 2-piece combo there from Subu. Just goes all in. 3-4. These are some great tactical fights. And again, the cut to the head. I've said it before, when Subu's playing a character that he doesn't normally play, he sticks to fundamentals of the game. And beating a veteran that just plays game fundamentals can be a lot more difficult than you think. 5-3. You have to use your creativity in order to defeat somebody like that. Oh, and looks like Subu gets the kill there. It was very close attempt. Laszlo's still in advantage, but Oak is a little bit more concerned here because he needs to win this set. Subu still has a chance even if he loses this set. Oh. And at this point, it's just going to be very close. Very, very close. Slight advantage here for Subu. Psychologically as well. Because of the win that he got there. And he goes low. And Oak might actually win this with a 2 flag. And then we're going to have 2 flag difference. And then we're going to have a tie break that is just 2 flags versus 1. Subu needs 2 more flags in this match or in the tie break. And he gets it, 6-6. If Oak gets this flag, we might have a 1 flag tie break. That would be crazy. A lot of pressure on Subu here as well. Draining fight for both. They're probably gonna get the fight. Oh, goes low, gets a hit in, does not kill him. But I know for sure that Subu's gonna play this as tactically as possible now that he got a little bit of a lead in damage. Oh, and it goes to the body, and Subu, 3 fights between them, all 3 fights, 3 sets, let's say, won by Subu at 7-6. Congratulations. Oak will have to be happy with the 3rd place today, which is still a great achievement. And Subu interrupts.
Yeah, GG. That's Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, that was a great fight. A little bit of revenge after yesterday, right? When you had the
100%.
Advantage. Great fight. 14-12. That was very, very close. Do you need a breather, or we can get right into it? I believe that was pretty draining.
Let's get right into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still willing to go right in. So.
All right. So yeah, so we're gonna use the same format, but this time, Subu will have to defeat me twice, and twice in 2 matches, not just sets. So a little bit of mountain to climb, but we're both used to it. We've definitely been in the opposite positions before, winning or losing. So here we go. I am on the left, you are on the right. Did I put Oak's name? Oh, no. So, yeah, going with the character that brought him the qualification to the final. Inyan. And here we go. Oh. Caught me mid combo like the AI. Nice one. Nice. Oh shit. Nice. missed. Nice, GG. Good fight. 7-5, pretty close.
GG.
We're gonna swap sides. Some really nice plays there. Switching back to bottom. Yeah, I think maybe Bada is probably a little bit better in this matchup. Not by much. But he has a couple of key tools compared to Jan. Nice. Oh! I pressed push, but I think you got me in the wind up of the push. Nice. Nice. Oh, that was interesting. come on. Nice. GG. All right, we're gonna keep sides, and you have 4 flags, and I have 2.
Got it.
It was 7-3, right? Down to the last flag. Grabs versus pushes. As you always say, like it's a fight with swords, not a sword fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, GG. But those grabs were really good, really good.
GG.
Yeah, I was just kind
Yeah,
of,
thanks. Yeah.
when I'm fighting, and I hope you don't take this the wrong. When I'm fighting, I'm just kind of saying things like "oh no" or "how come" or something like that. But it's just kind
Yeah, yeah.
of, when you're on the mic, it kind of gets out that way. Great fight, great fight. I really enjoyed it. Really
Yeah, no
enjoyed the
problem.
mind games.
Yeah,
And
I did too.
yeah, thank you very much for helping with the commentary. Thank you very much for the great fights. Thank you very much for this great final. And
Mm-hmm.
again, thanks to everyone competing today. It was a great tournament, very high level, very fast paced with a lot of drama. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Next week is gonna be the last event of the season, and we're gonna do Olympics, sharp Olympics. So those are always fun. And yeah,
Nice.
Subu, you want to add something?
Just that this event took everything out of me, I think. Just there were some incredible fights there with Oak as well. But I'm glad I found the energy somewhere. I had a second wind in our fight because that was equally intense, and I think I did just as well.
Yeah.
You just managed to etch out a win there in the end. That was fantastic. GG's to everyone else as well. Like that was a very interesting round robin, I thought, because for a moment there it was very unclear like who was gonna win.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just like how close it was, how elite it was. And Chernobyl did well too. He might have gotten last place there, but I mean, even he had some good performances. And shout out to Luck for getting in the position he did. Like he almost even qualified for that matter,
Yeah.
having lost four
Very close.
fights, but he won the one. So he
Very
did well
close.
as well.
Actually, the idea
GG's to everyone.
the idea that I had, because I didn't say what the idea was. Um, if you had lost against Oak at a bigger difference, so you would have been out of the conversation, then
Hmm.
Luck with the bye win would have been over Chernobyl. So I was thinking, I actually thought, okay, so instead of just giving Luck a free win to qualify and leave Chernobyl home, they could fight and the winner could just move on instead of just because it's kind of different because they were theoretically at the edge of being the number 3 or number 4. So giving Luck
Hmm.
number 3 with the free win would have been a little bit unfair for Chernobyl there. Anyway,
Yeah.
great events. Looks like the bosses. And I actually like this because maybe some other players are going to say, you know what, we're going to take on these bosses and we're going to defeat them in the next events. Thank you again for helping out the commentary. Thank you for the great fights. And
No problem.
I'll see you guys on the next one.